while nobody used smartphones 10 years ago, that is somebody that everybody does now, except for a lady on the front here that just showed me her phone. So the adoption of smartphone has really accelerated over the last 10 years. In 2004, nobody knew what a smartphone was. 2006, I think it was iPhone starting to come to the market, but everybody was skeptical. But in the same way as the world of smartphones have been evolving, work is undergoing the same change. In the 1980s, we start hearing about telecommuting. People working from home, commuting into the office just occasionally, doing customer support, doing accounting, whatever it could be that could be done at home. How they communicated with their employers, I don't know. Was it telefax, or was it phone, or was it telex? Who knows? But anyway, they were able to work from home. In the 1990s, we started hearing about outsourcing and offshoring. Large corporations like General Electric, like Capgemini, Accenture, putting up offshore development centers in India. Large banks in the US putting up customer support centers in the Philippines. It was something that everybody talked about. So that was a major change to how we perceived work. But in the last couple of years, we started hearing more and more about online work. And according to staffing industry analysts, the leading analysts of the global staffing market, they say online staffing or online work is the fastest growing area of staffing, and is arguably the most revolutionary one. But what is online work? Online work, by definition, is performed by remote workers where the work product is delivered virtually via the internet. It's really any skill that can be performed on a computer. It could be mobile app development, it could be design, it could be market research, it could be financial forecasting, whatever. Imagine what kind of work that can be done through a computer. That is now going into the cloud, into online work platforms like Elance and Odesk. It's also about work is done anywhere, anytime. The employer doesn't care whether you are doing your work from a beach in Bahamas, or when you climb in the Himalayas, or you're sitting in a co-working space in Vilnius. The employer just cares about the work product and the quality that entails. And contrary to outsourcing, online work is about one-to-one relationships. It's about an employer sitting somewhere in the world, working with a talent sitting in another part of the world. We talk about borderless work, where geographies, where cultures, where languages, in reality doesn't matter. Hillary Clinton once said, talents are everywhere, opportunities are not. And that's what the mission of our company is, that we will neutralize that quote and make sure that talents, regardless of where they are in the world, have the same access to opportunities like everybody else. And that's a great mission to have. It's a great vision. And it's something that we live of, and we dream of, and we have so much passion for in our daily work at Elance and Odesk. The online work platforms, like Elance, like Odesk, we are the ones that facilitate the online work revolution. And the online work platforms have three main pillars. I use 4 fingers, but I'm supposed to use 3. It's matching, enable them to find each other. It's collaboration, allowing them to work together in an effective manner. But it's also about securing that the freelancer gets the money from his clients in a safe and a trusted way. And I go a little bit into depth on that. So match, let's start with that. It's the first part of working online. It normally starts with a business posting a job on our platform. I need a developer. I need somebody to do some market research for me. I need somebody to do a patent filing for me. Post a job, and then you have freelancers, qualified, high-quality talents that are submitting proposals for these jobs. I can do this for $20 per hour. I can do the project for $1,500. And I can do it because I have the skills, because I have a proven track record, and because I have super happy clients. And then the client is narrowing down on the freelancers, making a short list, maybe do an interview of them, through Skype or TalkBox or any other embedded tool in our platform, and start vetting them in the same way as you would hire somebody into your office here in Vilnius. They negotiate on the price, they negotiate on the date, and finally the client select one freelancer, and they start working together. And that's the collaboration process. A workroom opens up, and the two parties are starting to communicate, share files, having Skype talks, work after milestones. If you work on an hourly job, the client can actually go in and see what you're working on, if you choose to share your screenshots with him. It's about a transparent world where both parties have access to each other's processes. And eventually, when you guys have done, or you guys have bought something from the freelancer, then the payments is transmitted from the client to the freelancer. And you can get it through your bank account, or through your PayPal account, to a Pioneer card, etc. All in a safe and trusted manner. So these are the three key pillars of online work platforms. We enable them to find each other, to collaborate, and also getting paid. 10 years ago, maybe even not 5 years ago, this wasn't really possible to the scale that we're seeing today. A company based in Vilnius working with a developer based in Philippines would be very tricky, because you wouldn't find them, it would be hard to collaborate with them, and would be sure hard to pay them. This is all new. This is how the future of work will look like. There are some drivers to this change. Technology. Everybody has access to internet today. Almost everybody have a computer. We have a smartphone we can work and listen to. What's happening through technology today enables us to find each other, to work together and get paid. Globalization. We are getting used to work with people from different countries and different nationalities. 15 years ago, it costed you a fortune to fly to Australia. Now you can fly there for maybe $700-800, maybe less than that. The world is becoming flat, and it's becoming even more flat due to people working together. I have this great story about a freelancer that I met in Israel 2 years ago. Eric Rossman, his name was. He was one of the best Salesforce.com developers on Elance, and he's told me that I found myself in every single job that I was bidding for, bidding against the same guy from Pakistan. And we were winning every second job from each other, but the thing was that we should work together. We should not be competitors. So these guys teamed up and made a business together. He was in Israel, and the other guy was in Pakistan. And eventually also the families became friends. And Eric Rossman told me that we should be enemies. He's a Muslim living in Pakistan. I'm a Jew living in Israel. In theory, we should be enemies. But we're not. We're good friends. We're business colleagues. And that's what is so unique about working through platforms like Elance and Odesk. You establish relationships across borders, across cultures, across religions. Unique, if you ask me. The demographics are changing. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, a fixed job, a full-time job, that was what you were aspiring for when I graduated from college. Today, the concept of work in Generation Y, the people that enter the work market kind of born after the 1980s, they don't have the same perception of what work is compared to what I had, even though I'm just 36 years old, 38 actually. They say that flexibility and freedom is some of the most important things for us. We would like to have a job that offers me the opportunity of working whenever, with whatever, for whomever, wherever. I like that freedom, and I don't want to have that 9-to-5 job anymore. I would like the employer to respect me for the skills I have, but he also needs to respect that I have a life on the side of my job. And you can just make just as much money working as an independent worker than what you can do, and even more than what you can do as a full-time employee. I come back to that. Society is changing, and also energy and resources becoming more scarce. It's more expensive to live. It's more that puts pressure on businesses that they need to think alternative. They need to find better solutions on how they grow their business. And what isn't better than kind of utilizing the fantastic workforce that is residing all across the world. So these are 5 major drivers of the change that we're seeing in the work market. And it's big. So the global contingent labor market is on $2 trillion. The staffing market is on $422 billion. Elance Odas combined in 2013, we did around about $750 million. Combined on those 2 platforms, historically, we have done around about $2 billion and $750 last year. This year, we're going to be around about $1 billion in transactions happening between an employer and a freelancer on our platform. And we're growing at a pace that is unbelievable, because people see this market as a unique opportunity to find jobs for the freelancers, great paid jobs for the freelancers, but also for the businesses to find talent when they need them and the skills that they need, without having competition from the larger enterprises in the city that you cannot fight with in terms of salary, perks, and benefits, and employer brand. Because in the cloud, that doesn't matter. It's only about what work that you can do and how well you pay them. So we, Elance and Odas, we are building the online workplace for the world. Combined on these 2 platforms, there are 8 million freelancers and 2 million businesses, and they're all in 180 countries across the world. Massive numbers. And it's going to be bigger. But what I'm going to talk a little bit about now is the great escape, escaping local economies. Sounds dramatic. It's more positive, actually. What doesn't picture better the talent escape or the stress that is putting on talents across the world than the line outside an employment office in Spain? People have been lining up over years now. And we're used to seeing headlines like this: 25% youth unemployment in Spain, 40% youth unemployment, 50% youth unemployment in Greece. This is something that we've seen daily now for the last 5-6 years. Even though we're seeing it kind of slowing down a little bit, it's not because the situation isn't bad for them around the Mediterranean. It's because we've gone tired of reading about it. Hence the media is writing less about it. The situation for great talents, people that have graduated from the best colleges in Spain, in Portugal, in Greece, is still bad. But we've grown tired of hearing about that. As a consequence of that, we've probably also seen that there's been a rapid growth in the number of talents from the troubled economies in the south of Europe flowing into Elance and Odas. These are some percentages based on 2013 number compared to 2010. But in Portugal, look at Portugal, we have seen a stunning 655% increase in freelancers signing up on Elance and Odas. And the good thing is that they're actually quite successful, because we see that the earnings, the jobs that are awarded to them, are increasing even faster. We see the same picture in Greece, the same picture in Spain, same in Italy. The talents are escaping their local economies because they cannot find the job opportunities locally. I'd like you to meet Raffaello. Raffaello is a system administrator based out of Barcelona in Spain. He signed up in Elance in 2011. He started charging his clients $27 per hour, and he's done great. He's been consistently delivering great results, high quality results to his clients, so he's been repeatedly higher. In 2013, he did as many as 34 jobs on Elance. He made $35,000. And he charged $82 per hour. That's up from $27 per hour in 2011 to $82 now. It's amazing. He's invested time, he's invested in soul in succeeding on a platform like this. And he succeeded. And it's amazing to see these results, how people that have graduated from good colleges, good universities, in troubled economies saying, heck the market. I don't care about the unemployment here. I'm going to actually save myself. So I sign up on a platform like Elance and start bidding for jobs. And I make success. That is the escape from the local economy, and it's really strong to see. We have thousands of examples like Raffaello. And there are many jobs for people like this. So I mentioned mobile app development, web design, web development, data research, customer support, whatever it is possible to do on a computer on a remote basis, you find jobs for on the platform. We see data scientists now coming in, we see lawyers, we see accountants. They supply their services because there is a demand for that. I once talked to a client of us that is based out of Singapore, actually an Airbnb competitor that is actually doing quite well down there. He said, we were filing a patent in Singapore. We had an offer from one of the local patent lawyers. It costed me $10,000. I said, no, I'm not going to pay that. So he found a patent lawyer in Elance that actually charged him only $3,000 to do the same thing because he had available capacity. That's a sharing economy. You use your free capacity to make some extra bucks, the same as with Airbnb. The benefits for the talents are many. These are some of them. But it's access to relevant, well-paid jobs. It's the flexibility to work whenever, for whomever, with whatever you'd like to. But the interesting thing about platforms like this is that you see a constant stream of new jobs coming in. And we are able, because of our analytics team, to actually discover what are the skills that are in demand today and what will be the skills that are in demand tomorrow. So we are able to capture this and actually grow our community, but also communicate to our community that maybe better kind of now to shift from BlackBerry development over to iPhone or Android development. Simple. It's also earning above local pay levels, similar to what Raffaello did in Spain. But on the other side, we have the businesses. There are also a lot of constraints for businesses that we are able to solve through platforms like ours. These are some headings that we're also starting to get used to see if you read the Financial Times or TechCrunch or VentureBeat or something like that. Like Silicon Valley engineers' salaries start on $150,000 or more. The tech industry in Britain is not able to grow because they're not able to attract the talent to their businesses. And just think of all the small, medium-sized businesses, the startups, that are not able to kind of grow their business because they're not able to attract the right talent. These businesses have an opportunity to kind of sign up, find those talents, attract them to their business and work with them and grow their business faster. Just kind of, since I showed how it looked in Southern Europe, where they escape in the local unemployment market, let's look at some of the stronger economies of Europe and see how they tackle their kind of growth challenges. Because if you look at Norway, Denmark, Switzerland, Germany, they have low unemployment rates and high salaries. And for small and medium businesses, for startups, like maybe you're representing, that's a challenge. It's a challenge when you're not able to grow your business because you cannot find the right talent, because you cannot pay them what they're actually asking for. You cannot offer them a free cantina and kind of free kindergarten and a bus to the office every day, which the big companies can do. So businesses in these countries, they are escaping their own local economy by signing up to online work platforms and start hiring people that is residing in other countries. And that's giving them a unique opportunity to grow their business and take the next step and fight with the big coast, but just do it with a different organization model. This is Heine. Heine is a Danish guy based out of Copenhagen. He has, and he had, a passion for wine. So he said, I'm actually going to build a wine app where I can store all the details of my wines. And he did that together with a friend of him called Thijs. I met him yesterday actually in Stockholm. And they faced the challenge of being a tech startup in Copenhagen, because they were like any other startup, that they don't have money, they're bootstrapped. They don't have the employer brand, so they're not able to attract the best talent. And they're not able to pay the salaries that these tech talents are requiring. So what he did was that he turned to Elance and built a team, a global team, residing over several time zones across the world. Mobile app developers, researchers, data entry specialists, so that they actually could leverage the time zones, but they can also use the different cost levels that are across the world and also access the skills they need. And these guys didn't care about the employer brand of Vivino, because Vivino didn't have an employer brand, but the employer brands are not visible in the online work either, in the world of online work either. It's all about what kind of jobs you have to offer and if you can pay them. So Vivino has scaled the organization through working with online freelancers substantially. Last summer, they raised $10 million from Boulderton Capital to continue to grow their business. 5 months ago, they had 7 million downloads of the wine app Vivino, which is massive, and is considered the best wine app in the world. And we are very proud of having worked with these guys in order to build our business. Well, actually, we didn't work with them because it's self-service, but they used our platform to grow their business and also get the funding to take the next step. And the funny thing is that Thijs told me yesterday, they're actually not looking just to be a wine app where you can take a photo of your wine, or you get kind of recognition of the label and you put it in and you rate it. They're actually going to build a marketplace of this business. Actually buy wines from your app. So that's unique. And there are millions of tech talents that is available for talents for businesses like Vivino. Lawyers, data scientists, financial analysts, etc., etc. I could go on. The benefits of the businesses is clearly they have access to a global talent pool. They can trust the quality and reliability of the workers that are there because we have a transparent system that allows businesses to rate the workers. And it's cost effective. You can literally find people that would like to work with you for every amount of dollar you can imagine. However, there is also an element of if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. So look for the people that you actually are willing to work with, not based on the quality and the work product, not based on the cost. But it's also operational flexibilities. In average, it takes 3 days to hire any resource on the platform. The delay is coming from the client, not from the freelancers. Instantly after you have posted a job on a platform like ours, you start getting proposals from them. So it goes really fast from posted a job, the need is there, until you have actually somebody that can start working for you. Pretty unique compared to what you see in ordinary life, in the real world, where it takes 3, 4, 5 months to fill a vacancy. The question now is, are you ready for that change? Because the change is evidently coming. Staffing industry analyst projects this market to grow from $1.6 billion last year to $23 billion in the mid-forecast in 2020. That's only 5-6 years ahead. So the market is here. The question is, are you ready to escape your constraints? Whether you are a programmer or a designer or market researcher, or if you are a tech startup or SME or a large enterprise. You can choose to stay in the past, be in the present, or look ahead. Look into the future on how you plan to grow your career or grow your business. I think there are opportunities for everywhere. Thank you very much. So then we'll see if there are any questions. Was there anything there? One question. I probably explained it well then. Okay. So first question is, who pays the taxes? So we're a facilitator. We are connecting the freelancers and the businesses. This is our marketplace. So the business, if there are any taxes that falls on him, he needs to file the taxes and also pay them. For example, VAT, reversed some terminology within the VAT language that I don't remember. But in terms of VAT, it's the client that it falls on. In terms of the freelancer, they need to report their taxes on the income they have, but they can also deduct their kind of their expenses and the costs associated to all work they have been doing. So that falls on the two parties. And then the other question is how to compete with East Asian guys on Elance if you don't have rating there. It's competing on price then, which is ridiculous. So one of the issues is absolutely right. It is an issue to compete with some talents from markets, some specific markets across the world because they have lower rates. But a lot of the clients also have the perception that if you charge $5 per hour for your work, then you have a $5 quality outcome. So there are businesses that are coming to our platform to say, I need the best guys, I don't need the cheapest guys. And that's normally a huge difference. So, but anyway, kind of my recommendation, whether you compete with the East Asian guys or if you compete with a UK one or whatever it is, then start with a bid that you can live with. Don't kind of go way too low, but you need to fight in the beginning on price for the first couple of jobs before you can take the step up towards the rate that you're actually wanting to have. So there is an opportunity to make money, but you need to give it a little bit of time. Look at this guy from Spain. As I said, he started on $27 and ends on $82 just after a couple of years. That is possible also for when you're competing with Asians. Disappeared. Sounds like there are more questions.
So there was there's a new one.
Yes. So how to build a starting portfolio when you don't have a work record. This assumes that it's a freelancer signing up on the platform and he wants to start finding jobs. So the option for that person would always be that invest time in your profile. Invest time in creating a shining profile that is professional, where you kind of include all the relevant information about your career, about your education, but also that you sign up to prove your skills. What have you actually done before? What are you good in? Because we have access to hundreds of different skills tests where you can actually prove your skills, whether that is PHP or if it's HTML or if it's Adobe Photoshop. You can actually take tests and embed that in your profile so that people can actually see how well you're actually ranked on your skills, because that is also an important element in getting your first couple of jobs. You can also upload samples of previous work that you've done outside the platform just to showcase that you actually do have a relevant track record compared to what the client is looking for. The question next one is, which platform is better for content creators and social media managers, Elance or Odesk? I would actually say it's pretty similar. I wouldn't say the either one is better, even though I kind of used to work for Elance until 1 week ago, before we merged the company. I would say it's relatively similar platforms. It's relatively similar inventory, I would say, of freelancers and businesses. So you just, do you like green or do you like blue? It's a little bit like that because that's the colors of the company. So sign up to either one. So see if there is any more. Nothing popping in. Any other questions? Okay, just one more. Tell more about ensuring fair payment. Can the one that asked the question, was that you? Can you kind of elaborate a little bit on that?
How do you ensure that people get what they earn? And tell more about it.
So there is a payment guarantee. So in terms of if you worked on fixed price jobs, then the client is transferring the money that is agreed upon to the escrow account, and the escrow money is then released to the freelancer upon approval of the work of both parties. If there is a dispute on the work product, then we have a dispute team that is coming in trying to negotiate and find a solution that both parties can live with. In terms of hourly jobs, the freelancer is guaranteed the payment as long as it's using the application called WorkView. So there is guarantee and protection mechanisms in place to ensure that trust between those two parties that are residing in different parts of the world. That's it. Okay. So if I'm a graphic designer and half of the time I spend thinking about the project, question is this if it's related to payments, that if you're getting paid for the work that you're actually doing and that thinking is a part of that payment. I think that depends on what you've agreed on the client. If it's a fixed price job, then you have agreed to do the job, including the thinking, for the amount that you've agreed upon. If it's an hourly job, then I think it's a question you have to ask the employer on, because it's really kind of a relationship as I said in the beginning, a one-to-one relationship between the client and the freelancer. Good. Let's move on to questions from the room. You first? If we do, yes. So after Elance and Odas merged, we have around about 300 full-time employees at our headquarters in Silicon Valley, and we also have some people in Europe and in Asia and in Australia. But we also have probably around about 600-700 freelancers working for us on a regular basis, on an ad hoc basis, on hourly jobs and fixed price jobs, in product management, in engineering, in market research, in customer support, in legal, in whatever really. We use the whole portfolio. So we use our own medicine. Actually, we use a lot of developers in, I think it's in Ukraine, in Romania, in Serbia, in that region. And next week there is a big group of product and engineers going from the headquarter team of Elance Odas to Prague to actually meet them, because we try to kind of build a team also with our remote workers. We don't look at our remote workers as somebody distant, but we actually try to integrate them in our organization to create kind of that unified feeling, even though you are on different locations.
I'm a freelancer myself, and I love, this freedom. But I built my portfolio on your competitor's website already.
Okay, freelancer.com or?
People per hour.
Yeah.
Is there any reason I should switch? And yeah,
I think,
could you give a good reason?
Yeah, ideally I would say, of course you should switch. But I think, to be fair towards you, I think continue what you do. But then you can also sign up on Elance or Odesk and see if you get other jobs, better paid jobs, longer term jobs also. Don't bet everything on one horse, unless you are super happy with where you are now. I don't want to ruin your career on people per hour, even though I liked it also. No, you see what I mean? It's like you have to choose your own, but try out the other horse as well. Put some bucks on that and see if you win. That's my recommendation. One more.
Good presentation, and I'm also using Elance, and I think that you have a perfect model. And my question would be, are you going to expand to normal day-to-day jobs, not techie, not computer, but normal jobs? Because having that reputation management is very important, because you sometimes hire someone, and if they do their job very badly, you lose a lot of money.
Yeah. So a kind of question is then, do we also want to have other full-time jobs on the platform? So for example, a Lithuanian company can post a job for a Lithuanian programmer that comes to the office. No, we're not going to do that. And the simple reason for that is we are true and loyal to our mission and vision. We would like to create an online work platform that is connecting remote workers. If we move into the job board industry, it's a different world. Then the different dynamics. We cannot use our platform to guarantee payments, etc., because that's like useless. So I think we would stick to what we have, and then rather refer our clients to other potential partners like Stepstone or Monster or Career Builder, whomever it is, for full-time jobs. I see your point, but it's like we need to be loyal to what we're kind of aiming to achieve, and it's about having focus. If you want to build a great business, you got to be focused.
I see. Thank you.
Good question. Thank you. Any other? No? Thank you very much for coming.